Hello everyone, welcome to the Elliott Wave YouTube channel. This is Henry. Today is Tuesday, November 24. The time is around 4 a.m. GMT. For today, we choose gold here as the chart of the day. This is a 60 minutes chart. We can see gold continue the downside, okay, in the past few days. And as we can see right here, this is only a short term. We can talk a little bit more on the medium term or the longer term, but at least let's talk about the short term first. Short term, we should be looking for the downside. As you can see, we have a move lower here. If you see here, this is counted as a wave 1, this decline here, and this bounce here is an ABC zigzag ending with B. So now we are within the wave C to the downside. As you know, wave C should be subdividing into 5 waves, and so far what we have here is what looks to be like a nest. 1 2 1 2, and then now 3 4 5. This 3 4 5 in red should be ending 3 in blue. Then we will have 4 in blue and then 5 in blue before ending C in black, right? Now let's take a look now with the larger degree structure. Now first of all, if we take a look at the weekly and the daily, right, I think there's no question, and we explained this in the seminar as well. We had a seminar in September about gold. We're seeing that gold is bullish in the larger degree. This year, as you can see, it broke above this 2011. This is the all-time peak before this year, and so this breakout to new high here suggests that we have started the next leg to the upside, and a simple 100% extension using this 2011-2015 give us a target around $3,000, right? And that will be a simple way to measure potential target. It could be a lot higher than that, but at least that will be sort of what the minimum expectation is. Now, just the fact that we have consolidated since we made a top in August, if you look at it from the monthly, this is really nothing, right? I mean, we have been doing nothing. This pullback here is really, I mean, it's not the start of something big move or bearish move or anything like that. If you take a look at the monthly, step back, then you will realize this is just a blip right now, right? And so we should be looking to continue to push it to the upside in the larger degree. Now, short term, where people pay too much attention sometimes, is where people feel like it's very bearish or is selling off. No, it's not selling off. I mean, again, if you look at the monthly, everything is still perfectly fine. And over here, we are now within the wave C. Now, I think one thing we need to answer is, is it possible for me to count this 1, 2, 3, 4 as a diagonal, so you can have an overlap between 1 and 4 within the C? Can I call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, even though technically you do have a 5 ways down, and then that means the C can be ending, but if you look at the RSI, the momentum, you don't see a divergence here, right? You don't see a divergence here. This is the lowest in the momentum. So this is telling us that most likely this is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is a nest 1, 2, 1, 2. That means we should continue to expect more downside, shorter cycle, short term. So what will be the potential target on the downside? Now we can take a look at in a couple of different ways, and I will explain to you potentially as well, like what are the various options we have here. Now if we take a look and step back first of all and take a look at the 4-hour chart first, now you notice we got P and E here. So I'm placing the A and B here in the 4-hour chart so we know exactly what we are looking at. So we're looking for an ABC. You can see this one looks impulsive. So we're looking for an ABC from here, from November 9th, right? So from the short-term point of view, potentially the C can go to equal to the A, right? So that's typically what an ABC usually do. It can truncate, but so far, if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, then it seems to me that we will have enough space to reach into the low 1800 or high 1700, right? Because we're still only within 1 2, right? Let me transfer the count here into the 4-hour. So we got 1 2 here, right? So it looks to me we will have space to have a little bit more downside to finish this 3 in blue here with one more push lower like this, only to end 3 in blue, and then you still have a 4 and a 5 before you end the C, right? So this to me looks quite realistic in terms of target on the downside, the 100% extension. Now the 123.6 will be around 1757. So this is potentially the target area. Is it guaranteed to reach here for sure? No, so not really 100%. Nothing is 100% in trading, right? But remember also the larger degree is, you know, looking for more upside. So I think this is something we continue to forget sometimes. We need to understand what is exactly the trend in the higher degree before we look at the lower degree, right? Yeah, lower degree we can see for the downside, yes, but don't forget about the higher degree. And over here, so this will be if we can reach this area. I think this area between 1784 1757, we should see, you know, strong support from there, at least for a three-ways reaction higher, right? At least for a three-ways reaction higher, if not going to extend higher again because of the bullish trend in the higher degree. We can extend higher again. Either we can extend higher, or at the least after we reach that target area we can do something like this, right? So that is one possibility if we look at the 4-hour. Now let's take a look one more step, look at the daily. Now the daily is kind of interesting because we got this 1 2 3 4 5 swing. So it depends on how you count this, but it looks like this cycle is over here, all right, and then you got this correction here. So this can be counted as a 5 swing, or in the corrective structure 5 swing is incomplete sequence. This is typically what you want to call as a double zigzag or double correction, WXY, in which this will be your connector from the peak here, right? This will be in the connector from the peak. So that means if you look at the daily, it has the worst potential case for gold here is to reach the 100% of this, which is 1738 and 1600, right? We can go here and it's completely still bullish in the larger degree without any change, right? So this will be sort of the next potential 100%. But remember, before we reach here, you're gonna be encountering 100% of this first. Now that 100% extension of this internal legs, it can produce at least 3 bounce like this, and then if we fail to extend, we still can do one more push lower into this area. But regardless, before reaching here, I think the next stop is going to be the 1784 area. We should be able to see some support here if we can reach here, at least for 3 reaction higher. Now there is also another possibility in which this area here in the middle here, it might be the area where gold can finish the entire correction. So in other words, gold may not reach the most ideal target here, which is the 100% on the daily chart, right? Gold may not reach there and instead truncate somewhere in the middle. Typically that will be, you know, the 61.8 extension over here, right? This area. So high 1700, right? High 1700. Gold may truncate in the area and then starting to reverse. Now the reason for that, typically you want to see a full extension, right? But the reason for that is because of the GTX. Now we did have a GTX chart of the day. You can browse the video in our site in the YouTube. Take a look at the video in the past couple of days. You will see GTX. Now if you take a look at GTX, which should correlate with gold, right? let me show you the GTX. This is GTX daily. Now, depending on how you want to count this, you can count it in two different ways. One way to count it is you can count this 1, 2, 3 ending W, and then this is a flat. This is your X expanded flat, and then you are in the Y, right? Another way to count this is you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending A, and this is a B. So you can count this as a 5 waves, 5 ways down, right? So let's say okay, assuming this is 5 ways, right? Some sort of diagonal like A, B. Then that means the potential target on the downside in this case is going to be over here, 32. Right? 32 is the potential target here. Now if you use this one, some sort of WXY, then it's 33. 33 is going to be the 100%. So let's use this one, which is 32. So now we are at 34 in GTX, and I think going here is not really that far away, right? $2 left, and from GTX perspective, that's less than 10%, right? 34.3. Let me see in terms of percentage. That gives us around 6%, right? 6 more percent left to go to the 100%. If you go back to gold, now take a look at this. In order for gold to go down from where we are all the way to 1738, right, that will require gold to drop. Let me see what the percentage is. 18. That will require gold to drop around 5%. So typically in the GTX is going to be the leverage play of gold. So it cannot be that both of them. Normally, if gold drops 5%, GTX will drop more than 5%. Like double or triple 5%, 10%, or even 15%, something like that. So the fact that GTX only needs to drop around 6% here before reaching the 100%, and gold still has so much more downside. That also makes it possible then to conclude that we may not reach the full extension of this daily connector. Now instead, we could be looking at this as potential support here, which is the internal here, 100%. Now this area, regardless whether we go down again or not to the 734, this area, if we can reach here, anyway, we'll have a chance to bounce. So from here we can bounce anyway. Even if we're going to get another leg lower, most likely we're gonna get a bounce first and then drop again into this area, which is the most ideal area, but may not be reached because of the GTX. All right, so shorter cycle, then let's recap what we are talking about. Shorter cycle, we should be looking for the downside. It looks incomplete, to be honest. This one looks impulsive, and this one is not a fully developed 5 waves. We don't have a divergence here, so you cannot count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that looks to me still 1, 2, 1, 2. So now we are in a nest 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We should be extending a few more downside here in gold, and then pay attention to this area. This area can can see strong support if we can reach here, at least in 3 waves, and with the possibility if GTX also hit this potential target, while at the same time gold reaches here, right, then we may potentially see a support, right, a stronger support from here, and they can start to rally quite nice. Okay, so as always, we do in our analysis, we use correlation. We look at the entire market to get the best count for our members, and we explain the logic. It's not like we just giving the charts and not explaining anything. So if you want to try our service, feel free to check our service. We have 14 days free trial. Also, we are running Black Friday promotion right now. We got various different promotions for different plans, so feel free to if you always intend to subscribe, now maybe is really the best time to subscribe, because we have a lot of good promotions going on right now. So I'll see you all again tomorrow, and have a nice day, everyone.